We're number one.
Took on the deadliest enemy.
Southampton County is a rural community only a short distance from the populous Tidewater area. The people are very friendly and very proud. The major crops are peanuts and soybeans, and the major industries are farming and lumber. There's only a brief mention of Southampton County in the history books. The bloody insurrection of Nat Turner more than 100 years ago. But the history books are being rewritten. And they're being rewritten because of a small high school on Route 58, where winning football games has become a way of life.
I've noticed it in myself and other guys. We never take into consideration that we're going to lose. We don't even think about the streak. We just know here's another ball game. We're going to win it come Friday night.
But when we play another team, you know, we know when we play them that they're going to be at their best because, you know, they want to beat us, but we don't really think about losing.
Is winning everything here?
Nobody sure beats a lot of other things. We try to tell a kid that if he'll take pride not only in what he does in the athletics, it'll carry over in his behavior, it'll carry over in the performance he has in the classroom.
Winning is not everything. We certainly try to teach more than simple football on the field. I think a kid can learn more about life on the football field in a place I can imagine. I mean, he'll get knocked down, he has to get up and put the pieces together and try again. And that's the way it is in life.
And the life of Southampton County revolves around the high school football team, the Indians, the Big Red. The football team is a source of pride to a county of very proud people. The team has established a winning tradition, and that tradition has affected the lives of just about everyone who lives in Southampton County. Success on the football field has brought a winning attitude to the classroom, the home, and the business. Perhaps the great Vince Lombardi said it best. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And the people of Southampton County firmly believe they are winners, that they are indeed number one.
You know, you never hear from them until they run out of money, right?
Oh, tell me about it. Dave's been like that since he was a freshman.
Bill and I have been friends since our son started first grade together.
The year you wrote the mortgage on my first house.
That's 2 mortgages and 3 car loans ago, right? I've been Bill's banker and his friend for a long time. That's the way it is here at Dominion National. We're not just your bank. We're your friend, and we're always here when you need us. Dominion National, you and us. Together, we're better.
One day they were in high school, the next day they were at war. No push-button war. These are the personal stories of the men who won the victory. I'm Lloyd Bridges. Join me for World War II GI Diary.
Sunday night at 11:30 on 3.
Inside, Southampton High School resembles any other high school in the country, which is 24 years old. Until you get here, the trophy case, jammed full of the symbols of past victories. 3 years ago, they had to knock a hole in the wall to accommodate the increasing number of trophies. And now Principal Bill Wright says they need to knock another hole in the wall. And until you get to the hallways, the walls in particular, the signs tell the entire story. All the way mighty Indians. Everybody loves SHS. Show the city boys what countrymen can do. Love those Indians. Indians do it better. Indians have soul. We're better because we want to be. And that sign, in a nutshell, tells the entire story of Southampton High School.
You're talking about one that's probably paid a greater price as he's come along as far as the School of Hard Knocks. He's made more sacrifices personally. The type of family that he comes from, the things that he's been deprived and without might be something, but it's more maybe the things that he wants bad enough to work hard for.
For years, Southampton County was a bastion of segregation, and this building, now the County Junior High School, was its symbol. For 15 years, it was called Riverview High School, an all-black high school. Riverview always had pretty good football teams. That was also the case at Southampton, the all-white high school down the road. Integration was slow in coming to Southampton County, a full 16 years after the Supreme Court ruled in the landmark Brown versus Board of Education case. When integration finally came, it was inevitable that the two schools would produce a football powerhouse.
In 1969, Southampton High School was the only all-white high school playing in the Peanut District. And the record that year wasn't too good, 3 wins and 7 losses. In 1970, the first year of integration, the first year of the merger between Southampton High and Riverview High, the record was 5-5, but things were beginning to improve. In 1971, the record went to 8-2. And in 1972, the record was 8-1. And in 1972, the winning streak began, the longest winning streak in Virginia High School League history. The Southampton High School football team has meant a lot to this county, in particular, in one very special, important area.
We have learned to work together, to live together, and to play together, and it has certainly brought the community closer than it has ever been, I think.
Well, it's done a great deal. It's shown that people can take pride again in the performance of an individual, regardless of what his color might be, and that an individual, again, regardless of his color, can make a contribution to Southampton County.
Well, we all have a pushing for a common goal. They're all in the bleachers pulling for the guys, regardless of the race, and they don't have any time to worry about other problems other than seeing Southampton come out victorious every week. And their fans are behind us all the way.
I believe we're completely colorblind. If you can cut the mustard, you're one of the guys, you know.
Right.
Like, you know, a little saying, instead of having black and white Indians, we got red Indians.
John, how about you?
There's no problem at all on the team. I mean, we're all friends. Me and these guys have been playing together since we're in the 8th grade, just great friends.
Right. There's no difference. You know, everybody's the same out here, you know, treated equal and everything.
The high school has an enrollment of 720 students. The racial mix is 68% black and 32% white. But according to school officials, the students are also colorblind. That due in part to the football team and the winning tradition. And the man most responsible for that winning tradition is Wayne Cosby. It is ironic that Wayne Cosby never played college football. He's a graduate of East Carolina University, and he came to Southampton High School 13 years ago. During his tenure as head coach, prior to this year's playoffs, the Indians had amassed a record of 121 wins, 25 losses, and 1 tie. During the last 7 years, again prior to the playoffs, the Indians were 82-5, including 7 consecutive district titles. Wayne Cosby's trademarks are dedication, thorough preparation, and a compelling drive for perfection. His ball players are expected to demonstrate those same characteristics. If they don't play. And Wayne Cosby takes no credit for the success of his teams.
Well, I think it's a combination of many things. First of all, I think we have a tradition here. Football's been played in this county for many years, and we've had many real fine football players before my time. Some men 70 or 75 years of age now brag about the teams that they played on here in Cortland and the teams that they played against. So I think this is a big factor that motivates the kids. And then we've been blessed through the years to have the great athletes. We've had some good ones. And we've had a lot of young men to play college football. And the community is certainly behind us. And from my point of view, I've been blessed with some real fine help in the assistant coaches. You know, we've got coaches been with us 7, 8, 9 years. And that's almost unheard of. in high school.
He's crackjack. I tell you, in Southampton County, we think Wayne Cosby, he's the Bell Brown of Virginia high school football.
He doesn't walk on water, though, does he?
He comes close.
Oh, that's a beautiful relationship working with Wayne. He has some of the same ideas I have in mind. He's a perfectionist, and we try to do things right and with very little error. The fewer mistakes you make, the better you come out, and this has been our success so far.
Larry Logan is Wayne Cosby's right-hand man. Logan, the former head coach at Riverview High School, joined Cosby's staff in 1970 when the merger of the two high schools took place. According to Principal Bill Wright, Logan's contributions to the success of the team are many, but he's best known as a motivator and disciplinarian.
Well, the secret to me is you get out exactly what you put in. If you spend your time well, then you expect good results. And the kids really work hard, and the results are really showing that they are putting in a lot of hard work.
What do you as a coach stress to these boys?
Well, I stress the basics, being tough, aggressive, in order to come out ahead. Get them before they get you.
This is Lewis Thompson's restaurant on Route 58 outside of Cortland. The restaurant is owned and operated by Gene Williams and his wife. And on this Thursday, the topic of conversation is tomorrow night's big game with rival Franklin High School. One man said, "There's more Monday morning quarterbacking in this restaurant than any other place in Virginia."
The same people gather each morning at the restaurant for hot coffee, eggs, hash browns, and country ham, all sprinkled with a generous amount of football. They praise Wayne Cosby as a good Christian, a devoted family man, and a super football coach. And they pray Wayne Cosby never retires from coaching at Southampton High.
As much success as he's had, the fact that he still wants to stay here and coach high school football says something about the man. He's had about every major offer you could think of, and he still stays here. And that has a lot to do with, I think, why the team goes on. I think the boys know, and the fans know, how much he's dedicated.
Fan support for the Indians has played a major role over the years in the establishment of that winning tradition. The fans are not blasé about the team. They just expect the Indians to win every week.
I think you ought to hold it. They're a winning team.
Well, that's one thing, winning. And I think tradition has got a lot to do with it here.
I think it sort of goes hand in hand. You got a good coach, you got a good football team, you got a lot to draw from, and a lot of support from the fans throughout this whole county.
It is now shortly after 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Game day is rapidly approaching. A final light workout is planned. The final tune-up before the big game with Franklin High School. The Indians had played 9 outstanding football games, defeating their opponents by scores like 53-0. Coach Cosby, however, is concerned that his ball players have become complacent, that his team is not prepared.
We've got a good football team. We are certainly expecting to go out there and perform well. And I've been a little concerned over the mental attitude of the guys this week now. I think we've worked hard, you worked hard, and I think we have prepared well. But some of us have been a little lax as far as mental preparation, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
And with the words, "Now put your bonnets on and let's load up," the Indians file out, heading for the football field. Each ball player trying to prepare himself mentally for the game with Franklin, a game which is now only 28 hours away. Despite the fact that today's workout will not include any contact, the session is intense. Each player knows exactly what he must do and what the coaching staff expects. The Indians practice 12 hours a week for 48 minutes on a Friday night.
Fellas, tomorrow night, what do we got different? We're playing in somebody else's backyard now. And they've been bold enough now to take a shoebox and fill it up with dirt, put chicken bones in it, and say that's Cyrus's graveyard. And we're the bunch right here that's going to open the holes for Cyrus and Tim and Bernard and Walker, whoever else they want to put in the backfield. It all rests on our shoulders, and we're going to go there tomorrow night and do one thing. We're going to own the field that they're going to play on, and what's most important, first lick of the ball game. Let them know who you are. Don't be bashful. Introduce yourselves on the first lick.
The Indians under head coach Wayne Cosby have a remarkable record. They have established a Virginia High School League record. They have garnered statewide publicity. But how good are they? Could they compete against group AAA schools? We put those questions to Chick Riebel, who has been covering high school sports for the Virginian Pilot for the past 7 years.
Well, I think that year in, year out, that they could play with any of the AAA teams that I've seen. I've seen Southampton every year in the playoffs where they're playing their best competition in their own classification. And a lot of the things that they do would hold up on any level. They're exceptionally well coached, well disciplined, never beat themselves, and kids just love to play football. It's a much different world out there.
You say Southampton could compete in the same category with the Hamptons, the Norviews, the Lake Taylors?
I don't think there's any question about that. I wouldn't go as far as to say that week in, week out that they would beat those people, but in given years against our best team head-to-head, I would think that they could win.
They start football in the 3rd grade and Little League, and they undefeated there, then they're undefeated in junior high school and undefeated in high school. So they just got a basic background of football.
They eat a lot of peanuts.
The winning tradition begins early. It begins in grade school. The high school has an incredible feeder system of potential football talent. And it starts in the Southampton Franklin Little League. The boys range in age from 9 to 13. The Cortland Capron team, wearing the red uniforms, of course, has lost only 1 game in 2 years. It is football based on fundamentals, the Wayne Cosby approach to football, mental and physical preparation.
Freeze out there. Now go on that football. Go on that football.
Oh, Wayne, get somebody. Let's go.
Hit him in now. All right, Jason, good boy.
At the end of the first half, the Junior Indians had a 34-0 lead. With 7 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter, the game was called. The score, 47-0. From the Little League, the next stop on the road to the big time is junior high school, which also has a winning team year in and year out. Many of the young boys who played on this cold evening in November have one goal, one dream, to play for Southampton High School. John Cumby has 2 sons playing for Wayne Cosby. By his own admission, Cumby becomes emotional when he talks about Southampton football.
Well, yeah. I just can't tell you that, like just sitting right here. My kids have been coming up here watching Southampton practice football, just practice for like 15 years. And that's all they think about. That's all they talk about. And it's just like the boys at the elementary school right now. That's what they want to do. They want to play on this hill. They want to play for Southampton.
I remember when I was real little, I always looked toward the guys who played for Southampton. They're just like pro players to me. When I was little, Mitchell Barnes and David Walker and those guys, they seemed like pro players. If I'd have saw one of them, I probably would have asked him for his autograph. And all I could think of was the time when I get a chance to come out here and play for Southampton. That's all I look forward to and work for.
What about you, John?
I think it's a really big honor, you know, to be able to come and play for a team like this and be able, you know, to travel all over the state. It's a really nice honor. Cyrus?
Well, like Bernard was saying, as we were small and growing up, we saw all the rest of the guys playing, and it is a big honor to play. And when we got up here, we're gonna do our best, and try to carry on tradition.
Friday, the game day has finally arrived. It is Indian dress-up day at the high school. The team members are dressed in coats and ties, another of Wayne Cosby's requirements for his players. By 3:15, the excitement is beginning to build. The pep rally in the auditorium is underway. The band is playing, the cheerleaders are cheering, the students are screaming for their heroes. And finally, their heroes arrive. One by one, they file down the aisle to take their places on the stage. They sit somber-faced and quiet, enjoying the praise from their peers. They really are heroes in a high school where football is just about everything.
On behalf of all the guys, I'd just like to say that we really appreciate the support you've shown our team this year by attending our game. As you all know, the game against Franklin is always a big one, and we've been working hard this week to prepare for the game so that we'll be able to perform to our full potential tonight.
By 3:45, Southampton High School is quiet. The players assemble in the cafeteria for a pregame meal, also a Wayne Cosby requirement and tradition. The meal is cooked by the school's cafeteria staff, and the plates are prepared by the coaching staff. The meal consists of hamburger, baked potato, string beans, bread, iced tea, and 2 pieces of candy. Very few schools do this. Cosby says simply, it's good for the kids and we can afford it. The players will remain together until the game is over, and Cosby tells each one to start thinking about the game now, 4 hours before kickoff. Following the meal, the players return to the gymnasium to relax and concentrate on the task ahead. There is very little talk. The hours pass quickly. It is now 7:15, and the Indians arrive at the Franklin Stadium to do battle with the Broncos. In a steamy and cramped locker room, Cosby has a few final words for his Chargers. It is a senior-oriented team, and this is a sad moment for Wayne Cosby and his seniors.
But we realize tonight will wind up our regular season Peanut District career for our seniors. And we have a large number of them. And I don't hardly know what to say. We've had so many great football players in years past and good seniors. We've had 4 or 5 classes to graduate without losing a district ball game, and we certainly hope that we can say the same thing about this group after the dust settles tonight. But I want you to know that I appreciate the work and the effort of every man on the squad, and most especially our seniors.
The Indians got off to a roaring start. On their 3rd play, Cyrus Lawrence, the school's all-time leading rusher, scored on a 25-yard run. Moments later, Lawrence scored again, this time on a 26-yard run. The Indian machine was well-oiled, grinding out the yardage and playing strong defense.
The intensity is just hard to describe, and I like to walk the sidelines there. Everyone is so caught up in the game. The hitting is absolutely brutal, and as an observer, it's just exciting to be there. And you sort of miss that here in AAA ball. You might have much bigger crowds, but I don't think the involvement's quite the same. It's evident that there's a lot of town support there, that this is a big deal to play football for Southampton High School.
Through 9 games, the Indians had held their opponents to a grand total of 14 points. They were on the verge of establishing another record. But Franklin recovered an Indian fumble, and the Broncos' field goal attempt was good. Judging from the fan reaction, you would have thought Franklin had just won the Super Bowl. But the Franklin fans had reason to celebrate. Scoring on the Indians is not an everyday occurrence. The record, however, would remain intact.
Get up here! I want to tell you something, buddy. You better get your butt in there and start getting after people. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, I ain't whooping with you, buddy.
Midway through the first half, Cosby's worst fears were realized. The Indian machine was beginning to squeak. The team was making mistakes, unusual mistakes for a Southampton team, fumbles and pass interceptions. And Wayne Cosby didn't like it one bit.
All right, man. We bulged out in that locker room, and we bulged out and we got started out here tonight. I'm ready to go out here. Yeah, got it. And we look like a bunch of donkeys out here since first.
The Indians did not play well, but they played well enough to win. The final score, 41-3. Chalk up another victory for the Indians. Chalk up another victory for Southampton County. Chalk up another victory for the people of Southampton County. The Indians are more than a football team. They're a catalyst which has brought people together. They have shown that people, regardless of race, color, or creed, can achieve a common goal. All it requires is a lot of hard work and mutual trust. And if it can be accomplished on the football field, it certainly can be accomplished in life.
Regardless of the age or the race, everybody has a common goal in this football team. And we're striving to reach a goal together. And so I think it's been very helpful to us.
Channel Furniture, furnishing the finest homes in Virginia for over 40 years, is now offering one of Tidewater's most extensive selections of fine furniture, rugs, and accessories. From the elegant simplicity of 18th century reproductions by Hinkle Harris to the perfection of fashionable design by Henredon, Channel Furniture offers the quality, service, and competitive prices that have become the hallmarks of the Channel tradition. You are cordially invited to visit our large showroom. Channel Furniture.
As far back as 1885, C.A. Nash was bringing his hallmark of quality to the stateliest homes in Tidewater. For paint and wall coverings, everyone knew that whatever the application, C.A. Nash had exactly the right thing. People still look to C.A. Nash & Son for product knowledge and wide selection of today's paints, wall coverings, and other decorating products. To know paint and wall covering, know C.A. Nash & Son, Hampton Boulevard and Virginia Beach Boulevard behind Peaches.
I've been waiting for a big brother for a long time now. How about you?
Yeah, me too. I hear it's nice. You go fishing, or go to the movies, or anything you like. Maybe just even talk. You know, just talk to somebody.
Yeah, I know.
Won't you become a big brother? I need you. Please call Big Brothers Big Sisters of Tidewater at this number. Please. Oops.
Most important, they know the price you must pay to be a winner, and that is bound to help them in later life. A final comment about Wayne Cosby. Wayne Cosby believes that a kid playing football can learn a lot about life, that life is a lot like football. When you get knocked down, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, as the song goes, and you start all over again. Wayne Cosby is a football coach. He teaches fundamentals, things like blocking and tackling and execution and mental preparation. But Wayne Cosby teaches more than that. He is teaching young boys how to be men. And that, perhaps, win or lose, is Wayne Cosby's greatest contribution to Southampton County.
Something